Hello, I am Valentina, and today we talk about one of the films that make you think the most about education, freedom, and personal identity is Dead Post Society, known in Spanish, and the Sociedad de Poetas Muertos. This film not only tells the story of a group of students, but also invites us to think about how we live our lives and how free we are to decide or want the path. The story takes place is a very strict and traditional school called Wilton, where rules, discipline, and obedience are the most important. Several young students arrive in the place we practically have their future. Decided by their parents or by same institution, they are expected to be perfect, to follow the rules, and not to question anything. However, everything changes when a new literal teacher appears, Professor John Keating. He has a very different way of the teaching. Instead of forcing students to memorize or follow rigid methods, it teaches them to think for themselves, to question things, and above all, life with patience. One of the most important ideas is conveyed to them is that each person must find their own voice, that is not simple repeating what others they expect, but discovering what you really think, feel, and what do they in life. This is where the meanings of the movies this come in the Society of Dead Poets. Within the story, Professor Gatings tells his students that when he was a student, there was part of a secret group called precisely the Society of Dead Poets. This group met in I captured poetry, reflect on the and on life and share ideas freely away from the strict rules of the school. The name might sound strange or even a little dark, but in actuality, as every symbolic meaning is called of the dead post, because the poems they read were written by authors we are not loathing alive. However, his words still have power. They continue to spirit and continue to teach the new generations. The conveys a very important idea, even if people like their ideas and their way of saying, the world can continue to live through what they left. In addition, the name also reflects another deeper idea. Many times in society, people let their dreams, their passions, or their creative die out of social pressure or because want to meet expectations of others. In essence, it is a if a that threat and creative part of people diet. The reform when students decide to reform the society of dead poets, they are actually trying or recover something very important, the freedom to think, though feel and express themselves. The film and show of the conflict between follow of our dreams or following what others expect of us. Some characters want to study creating things so dedicate some lives to what they really love, but their parents have different plans for them. This creating a very strong tension that makes the story very emotional and reflective. Something that makes this movie very special is that no, it does not present life as something simple. Is show that making or decisions can be difficult and there's some things there are consequences, but even so that main message is that is worth living with authenticity. Another important idea conveyed by the films is to advance of time lives could be fast, and if you follow what other one we called get to a point we are realize that we never really live our own lives. That's why Professor K thinks tries to Aiken in has students the ability to think some less and to see the world from different perspectives. It even encourages the clean of the desk of to look at of the living room from another angle, which symbolizes that there are always other where and understands reality. In conclusion, The Society of the Dead Post is a film that invites to reflect on what we are and what we want to be. The little not only refers to a secret group of students who write poetry, but also is the idea of keeping ideas, dreams, and creativity alive. It reminds us that each person's unique voice that is important to have a core the us it and perhaps that in the most important reflection on the whole film that truly living means the darling all think differently to follow our passions and not let our dreams become something that inside us.